Welcome to Aging in Style with me, Lori Williams. I'm an optimist by nature, and I believe you can follow your dreams at any age. My grandmother's journey with dementia ignited a passion in me to work with seniors. I've spent the past 13 years learning about seniors and aging. In my mid-50s, I followed my own dream and founded my company, where I use my expertise to help seniors locate housing and resources. On this podcast, we cover all aspects of aging. Join us each week to meet senior living experts and inspirational seniors who are following their dreams. The fact is, we're all aging, so why not do it in style? Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's show. Today, I have a very special guest, and I'm really excited about the topic. You know how we always talk about not letting age define us, and that's just something I talk about all the time, and I think it's so important. So we have someone today who is living that. She does not let age define her. Her name is Joyce Brown, and she is the reigning Miss Senior Texas, and she is just incredible. So let me tell you a little bit about her, and then I'm going to introduce you to her. She is 62 years old. She looks amazing. She is the current title holder for the Miss Texas Senior America pageant. She has a BS degree in electrical engineering technology, and she worked 38 years in the technology field. And I'm going to have her tell her story, but basically at 59, she decided she was going to define herself when she turned 60. She was not going to let 60 define her, which I absolutely love. And she started working out. And I mean, she is just an inspiration. So welcome, Joyce. I'm so glad you are on the show today.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Lori, for having me here as well. Of
course. Okay. So I love how you say you did not want 60 to define you. And 60 is not far away for me. So I love that. I love that attitude. So tell us, what your thought was and how you started working out, and just tell us all about that.
Okay, sure. So at 59, I was in a very negative place, I guess. I was ready to retire. I had been working, like you said, about 38 years. I was ready to retire, and I was wondering what was next. And I knew I wanted to retire, but I didn't want to go home and sit on the couch. I knew I wanted to find something to engage in. And so as I turned 59, or I was getting ready to turn 60, probably within about 5 or 6 months, I started thinking about turning 60. And I felt even more depressed, to be perfectly honest, because I was overweight, and everything about 60 was negative in my mind at that time. Over my 50s, I had gained about 30 pounds. And prior to that, I gained about 20 pounds just over, the course of life and everything. But something happened at 50, and I don't know, I lost control and I gained another 30 pounds. So here I was now, about 50 pounds heavier than what I'd ever been in my life. I wasn't feeling good about myself when I looked in the mirror or any of it. And then the prospect of turning 60, I thought, where had the years gone? I didn't know where they were. But so finally, after contemplating that and feeling helpless, and, I felt like I was really at my lowest point, to be perfectly honest. And one day I finally realized that, Joyce, you have control of your life. And although you're getting ready to turn 60, 60 does not have to define you. You can define 60 for yourself. Now, mind you, throughout my 50s, I was yo-yo dieting, one diet after another. I'd lose a few pounds, gain them all back, and I really felt defeated. So when I changed my mind, and I don't know what clicked inside of my brain at that point, but I was sure that I had made a commitment to myself that I wasn't going to break. So it was at that point that I went and found a weight loss program that I liked. I'm really more interested in whole foods. I needed to learn how to eat again. So I wanted something that had whole foods as opposed to prepackaged foods, because I didn't want all the sodium and all of that, and I really wanted something more natural. And so I found a weight loss program that allowed me to eat the way I needed to eat, as well as they were opening up boot camp business around the corner from me. And so I decided that I wanted to start boot camp. I had never done boot camp in my life. And here I am at 59 deciding, 50 pounds overweight, mind you, and I decided I was going to go and do boot camp. So really, and let me back up one more time. I had become a health coach probably at 58, and I had began to utilize some of the techniques I had learned as being a health coach, and I had lost about 20 pounds by the time I had this whole revelation. So I was probably at that time about 30 pounds still overweight. So I go into boot camp, and oh my goodness, everything was so difficult. I was so out of shape. But you know what? I was committed, and I had a made up mind. And I knew that nothing was going to turn me back. I wasn't going to let a holiday set me back. I was going to let a birthday party set me back. I was no longer going to eat all of those comfort foods that had caused me to be where I was. And I just had a made up mind that I was not going to make any excuses. I wasn't going to sabotage myself, and I was just going to move forward. And after I made that commitment and started boot camp and healthy eating, there were so many obstacles that came my way that could have easily sabotaged me, but I just refused to let it happen that time. And I stuck with it, and I lost the last 30 pounds by my birthday, which was about 4 months later. So it was really amazing. And for me, I didn't want only to lose the weight. I wanted to be fit. That was really my biggest goal. Of course, I wanted to lose the weight, but I wanted to be fit. And so by the time my birthday came along, I was probably down. I lost all 50 of those pounds that I gained, as well as I was in the best shape of my life. I had long, lean muscles. I don't know where it came from. I didn't know I could even do that because I had never been like that in my life. So anyway, I was in the best shape of my life, and it was just all about, I just made up my mind that I wasn't going to let anything distract me this time.
So you just really had the mindset for it. You were ready to.
I did.
Yeah.
And I realized that we are what we think. I mean, how many times have we heard that? If you think you can do something, you can do it. But so many times I went on diets, and I just knew that it was a Monday morning diet, and I would probably be off of it by Tuesday or Wednesday, and I did. So this time I just changed my mindset, and I was able to follow through and accomplish my goal.
That's amazing. So what made you think about, okay, yes, Miss Senior Texas, I'm going to do that? Where did that come from?
Well, I had never been in a pageant. Never in my life. And actually, I've never been that very outgoing person that, and as part of my job, because I was in management for 30 plus years. And so as part of my job, I had to do presentations at church. I was leader of several ministries. And so I would have to do presentations, but it was never anything I was real comfortable doing. I was always that person behind the scenes. But after I lost the weight, and people started making comments about how my body had transformed, not just losing the weight, but how fit I had become, I began to develop more confidence, I think, in my ability. And I wanted to challenge myself to do something that I had never done before. And again, I was ready to retire, and I didn't know what it looked like. And so I was ready to just challenge myself and step outside of my comfort zone of who, again, I said I was. So I wanted to become who I knew I could become, as opposed to what I had been telling myself I was all of the 60 years that I lived. And so it was at that point that I decided to start looking around for something to do. And I wasn't even sure what that something was. However, I ran across the Miss Texas Senior America pageant for women that were 60 and older. Well, I just turned 60, so it was perfect for me. And so I decided that I was going to enter the pageant, and the rest is kind of history. But yeah, that's what motivated me. And I think that sometimes we tell ourselves, we condition ourselves, and again, the mind is just so strong, has such a strong hold on who we are. And we tell ourselves so many years, this is who I am, but I think that we all have the potential to be so much more than what we tell ourselves. But you have to be willing to step outside that comfort zone, do something that you never thought you could do before, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish once you change your mindset.
Yeah. I think when we do that, we step outside our comfort zone, and then we have that bit of success, it does raise our confidence. And so it's just taking that first step, and, you can do anything. So yeah. I think that's amazing.
For me, I didn't win it the first year. And I like to tell people that because I did not. I went into the pageant, and first of all, I didn't even have a talent. I don't have a talent. And I still say I don't have a talent. And that's one of the criteria, is that you have to do a talent. And so because I had been working out, I decided that the only thing I could do is do some fitness routine to music. So I hired a choreographer and learned a dance. She taught me a dance routine, fitness dance routine. And it really was cute. And it was really, I was very impressed with myself. Plus I had to be up on stage and do it by myself. But anyway, at the end of it, I didn't win. I didn't place. And that was okay with me because I had done something I never thought I could do. I had gained so much confidence, and I put myself out there where I could be scrutinized, and it was okay. The fact that I didn't win, but I learned so much from that experience. So what I did was I took what I had learned from that experience. I talked to the director and some of the other previous winners, and I went back and I was able to modify my approach. And I went back the next year and I polished up some of the areas where I knew I was a little weak. And I was able to win.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So again, I don't believe in failure. I believe that you can take whatever it is you've done, you can learn from that, and you can apply it to something else that you're doing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the Miss Senior, or is it Miss Texas Senior or Miss Senior Texas? Am I calling it the wrong thing?
It's Miss Texas Senior America.
Okay, Miss Texas Senior America. So tell us about the pageant. I don't know much about it, so just tell us all about it, how it works.
Okay, so the pageant has been in existence, oh my gosh, I want to say at least 40 years. They just had their 40th anniversary last year. And so what we did is a state pageant, but there's also a national pageant. So once you win the state pageant, you go and you compete for the national title as well.
Okay.
But going back to the pageant is all about the positive image of aging. You know, a lot of people, they want to put you in a category once you reach a certain age, and they want to put you on the shelf, and they feel that you no longer have value. You reached your age, and go ahead and go to the background. But the pageant is so good about bringing us back out to the forefront and showing that we still have so much value and that we still have so much to offer. So that's the thing I do love about the pageant. When I first went into the pageant, one of the things that I noticed is that women over 60, even in their 80s, were still tap dancing. They were still singing, they were dancing, they were twirling batons. And nobody in my circle was doing any of those things, so I had not seen any of that. So it just let me know that there's so much potential for us, even as we age, but you got to be willing to step out and do something else outside of your comfort zone. And so a lot of us, it was like, well, I'm going to take tap dancing lessons, or I'm going to learn how to sing, or, so women that were part of the pageant, it gave them that visibility of other opportunities that we may not have known about. So yeah, it really is a tremendous organization.
So you inspire each other.
We really do. They really do. And then there's also that sisterhood that's developed, because we all go in there, and a lot of the women have never been in a pageant. Some of them did when they were younger, but a lot of the women have never been in a pageant. So we're all learning and growing together. So, it's just such a positive experience.
That's really cool. I love that. And I think a lot of times people they think it's negative to age, which is crazy because we're all going to age if we're lucky enough. We're all going to get older. So that's a hard thing for me to understand. I mean, we are still valuable no matter our age and can accomplish anything, obviously.
Right. But again, you got to go back to you have to have the right mindset, and put yourself in those places where people value, what you have to offer.
Yeah. So what do you do? I know you do some community service and different things. So tell us what a day is like as the winner, as Miss Texas Senior.
So there's so many opportunities. So of course there's been parades that I've been able to participate in, and that's been so much fun. But a lot of it is going out, serving the community, and going to places where you just kind of bring joy, because there's something about having a crown and sash. You walk in and, people smile, and it just brings joy. But
the crown is fabulous, by the way. Well, she's wearing the crown right now, and I can see it, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you. So what we do a lot of is we go around and we perform, because all of the ladies, of course, had to have a talent to participate in the pageant. So we have what we call the Cameo Club. And so they go around to different nursing homes and we perform. So we're constantly looking for nursing homes that we can go in and perform. And then we're able to, talk to the residents afterwards and everything. And that's always very touching. Another thing I've done a lot of is I'm always looking for opportunities. So I've gone out to just nursing homes on my own, or not necessarily nursing homes, but senior homes, senior centers. they're having a Thanksgiving dinner, I'm there and I'm going around talking to people and, just trying to bring joy into their lives. Some of the other things that I've done is I started mentoring a young lady. She's a high schooler and I started mentoring her. When COVID hit, I was like kind of devastated at, what was happening and everything. And so one of the things that I did was I found some families that were in need and I went out and bought gift cards and gave them gift cards, so to make sure, that they were able to still provide food for their families.
Yeah, sure.
So we're constantly looking for opportunities to go and serve the community. I've gone out to career days and spoke to third graders for a career day. I've gone over to another middle school and participated in functions that they've had. So I am constantly looking for opportunities. I had won the crown in August. And by March of this year, when the virus hit, I think I had like 80 appearances. So I was constantly looking for things to do. So some days it would be 3 items. I'd be running from one thing to the next, just trying to make an appearance and just trying to influence and make people feel happy, feel better. Yeah.
So with COVID, I know they didn't have the pageant this year. So you get to be the winner for a bit longer. You get to keep the crown for a little while longer. When will they be having the pageant? Have they announced that yet?
Yeah, so the pageant should have occurred last August. That should have been the end of my reign, but because of COVID, everybody's trying to be responsible and keep the contestants safe, and especially we're all over 60, so we're in that high risk category. And so they had postponed the pageant until I think July is the new date, and so that will give me almost 2 years that I will have had the crown. So I had to extend it. So.
That's nice. So you'll have to give that crown up. Well, I so appreciate you being on. I think you are such an inspiration. And I met you, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. We were at an event for Celebration Magazine doing something for seniors. And you just have such a presence. You're just so beautiful. And I just was excited when you said, yes, you would be on the podcast. So thank you so much. It's an honor to get to know you.
Well, I was so excited when you asked me to. I was like, yes! So absolutely. So I'm glad it worked out because you're just a joy to work with as well. So thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, great. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. And if you want some more information on someone as inspiring as Joyce is and living your best life, definitely check out my website. It's LoriWilliams-seniorservices.com. All of our podcasts are listed there, all kinds of resources to help you. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.